Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning and we are fast at work. Look at this. We're already buzzing like bees over here. We're still working on details. We are painting some exterior. It's going to be a pretty week, so we're going to take advantage of that. And I think that we are going to start working, wrapping that beam in the kitchen. So we're going to have a good week. Today's the day. We are going to attempt to wrap that LVL beam in the kitchen. So here we go. Here is what the guys have done. They have found the two boards that are the closest in thickness. And you remember we started out at like a 3/4 inch and then they got thicker and thicker. So these are the closest. We're going to do the side of the beam closest to the fireplace, our priority. And what they did was they cut a nice straight edge on the inside of each board. We're going to sandwich those together or bump them to each other with pocket screws. And then that's going to be one big board. Again, we don't have enough length, so we're going to have to patch it on one end. But we're working with the mass part of the beam first. All right, so underneath the boards, we drilled those holes for pocket screws. We've done that all the way down. We have stuck them together. And as soon as we put that last pair of pocket screws in, we're gonna go see how it looks in the kitchen. Also, one more thing we're gonna try. You know, we don't have enough overall length, but we don't have enough overall length if we cut it here. But if we cut it here, that gives us enough length, and then we just have to patch this hole. If we cut here, we're gonna have to do strips on each side. So we're gonna give this a try. We can always come back and cut it later if we cut here first. Let's see if this works. All right, so here you can see those pocket screws in pairs running all the way down. That screws the two boards together. We're gonna trim the length and then give it a shot. All right, so you saw last week that we were working hard on this mantle. It's as clean as it's gonna get. And we're getting ready to put a coat of stain. So we're gonna use Early American. That was our second choice for the floors. We're gonna put a little bit on that and see how it looks. So one of the moments we've been waiting for is that stain going on the mantle. It looks really good. Across the hall, they're working on that beam. I don't know where to look. There's so much excitement happening at one time. So the board is so long, we had to bring it through the window because it wouldn't make this turn. I don't know if you can see, but we put these little supports up there. So we're going to get this up there, resting on those 2x4s. Okay, it is in place. It's still sitting on those 2x4s, but we have nailed it in place. We've got to patch that little notch over there. But my goodness, I love it. If you didn't know there was a seam there, you wouldn't even see it. The color is perfect. You would never know that that beam was under the floor, almost in the dirt, for 237 years. And then for the last year, it's been sitting out in the rain in the backyard. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, so now we've got to do the other side and then the bottom. So we still have more work to do, but right now we're just sitting in the back and admiring it. All right, there we go. We have stained the mantle. It looks a little dark. That I know from experience that color is going to dry a little bit. And as it dries, it's going to even out a little bit. And then we are going to put a clear coat on top. And that is what's really going to give it some definition, bring it to life. We are finishing up a Monday. Before it gets too dark, I wanted to show you we got a clear coat on this mantle. It's very, very dark. You never know how wood is going to take a stain, but we got one clear coat on there. You can see that shine, and we'll do another clear coat tomorrow. Our next step is we are going to paint this surround and all of the inside with a flat black. And then we have something special in mind for this surround. So there's that. We are still working in the kitchen. The guys are almost ready. They've been putting together the beam or the boards for the beam on the backside. So that's going to be going up next. It's going to be really tricky to get it in here and get it up there with cabinets on each side. Hindsight, we probably should have done that first, but we were anxious to get those cabinets up. So cross your fingers that that's going to fit in there. All right, we're bringing it in. You can see those pocket screws along the back side. This one's a little rougher than the other side. So we're going to see how this is going to work. So we had a little bit of difficulty, but it's up. I think it looks great. We've got a little patch over there on the right to do. And you see, I think you can see right there where the wood dips down. You see a little bit of sheetrock. I think that we are just going to paint that a dark brown and nobody will ever see it. So there you go. So tomorrow we're going to work on those 2 patches and the piece that goes underneath. What a good day's work. As we are in the backyard, it's a new day and we are working on that little slice that's going to go between the 2 boards that we put up yesterday. So we're going to sandwich this to look like the bottom of the beam. So let me show you what they've accomplished. All right, so this board was not quite long enough, so we had to piece it together. You can see they used some of those pocket screws there. They've just been narrowing it down a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more until it's narrow enough. So hopefully pretty soon it's gonna fit in that groove in the kitchen. Our backyard looks so lovely with all these tubs, but that tub's about to go to storage and that tub's about to get some work. So that piece that they're working on is gonna slide up and cover this up. It's gonna go between that board and that board. Just gonna pop right up in there. Of course, we'll have to take our jacks or support down. So hopefully that's gonna go right up in there. There will be some seams, but just like there's a seam up there, it just really looks more like a crack. I think it's gonna be okay. So we're supposed to get a lot of rain next week. So the guys have decided to move and do some outdoor stuff. So they are working on doing some painting on the porch. All right, folks, we're bringing it in. We're gonna see if it's going to fit. So it was just a little bit too long. We're gonna take just a tiniest bit off. So yesterday, before it rained, the guys got one fresh coat of paint on the ceiling. If you remember, this was like the only thing that was presentable in this house. For some reason, the former owners kept the ceiling in good shape. But we didn't know the color, so we had to pick a different one. This is balmy, which I like. It's a nice haint blue. It's going to keep those haints away and also keep the bugs away. And they're putting on a second coat. So we'll see how that goes. It's also going to go on the back porch ceiling as well. We are getting ready to tackle some baseboard in the kitchen. So late yesterday, the guys worked really hard and they got our toe kick. Can you see that under there? We got the toe kick in. Looks great. And so a while ago when we were doing baseboard, we did that part of the room. We didn't do this piece because we didn't know quite where it was going to bump up to the cabinet, and the same right there. So we've got a little bit of baseboard to fill in. We kept some of that old baseboard, so it needs a little attention. We still got to scrape it. So we're going to work on baseboard in here. We have had a productive day. We got a final coat of paint on our back porch. Love our paint blue ceiling. We got some doors hung again. Remember, we took them down because we refinished our floors. So we've got a door into the bedroom and our door going into the office or the wooden room. I think we even had one. Nope, just kidding. We have not hung the one going to the bathroom. So we mostly did these new black hinges, but you remember our fancy hinges from the Clark company. We put these back, we cleaned them off. We did not repaint them because we really wanted you to be able to see that information. So they are on the wooden room, top and bottom, and then also going into Mrs. Hyatt's parlor. And this is where you can really see them well because it's always pretty bright in here. So we got those hung. Of course, we got a little touch-up paint to do. And in the kitchen, we got a baseboard here, which is new cabinetry baseboard. We also filled in our baseboard here and over there and got a coat of paint on those. And now we are turning our attention to the crown molding in here. We had to wait till we got that beam up so we knew exactly how tall our crown could be. And I'm still in awe of that beam. It's so pretty. Remember we had a little notch at the end? So we filled that in with a board, and we specifically left it, or purposefully left it a little deeper so that it feels more like a notch instead of just a hole in the wood. Making things happen over here. All right, it's Thursday morning. It is a beautiful day. It's nice and warm. It's just gonna get warmer. So we are doing a lot of outdoor things. We are touching up some trim paint. We are working on some windows, just little things that need to be done outside. And on the inside front, we are working on that crown molding in the kitchen. So let's go in there. You hear them stapling. Let's go check that crown out. All right, so we started working on that yesterday. We got that filler piece in, and early this morning, we have popped that crown on. It looks fantastic. We figured out just how high we could make it so that it fits under our beam. And I love it. That little bit of trim just really finishes out that. So we're half done. Just gotta do this section over here, and then we'll see what our next project's gonna be. Today is an exciting day. It's Friday, we're wrapping up the week, but we've got people working everywhere. HVAC guys are on the 3rd floor, guys are working outside, inside, on the 2nd floor, on the ground floor. So much getting done. Makes me very happy. So I told you that the HVAC guys were on the 3rd floor, and I have a little fix that they did for us that makes me very, very happy. You remember this closet on the 2nd floor started out as a massive closet. HVAC gobbled it up. You had this one copper line that came out here and went back. It came out, around, and back. So they came back today and put a little bit more bend in it and got it straight. And that has freed up some space right here. And we have a bright idea. So you're gonna have to stay tuned because we haven't quite designed what's happening here because we couldn't do it till we knew that pipe was gonna move. But it did, and we're in good shape. All right, so we are wrapping up an awesome week. So we got the beam finished in the kitchen. We got a lot of the little details worked out on the kitchen cabinets and the main bedroom cabinets. We got that good news with the HVAC guys, touching up paint on the outside. So lots and lots of details, more details to come next week. So come back then and see what's happening at the Hyatt house.